The highlights of my talk tried to contrast with all the other talks we have here. We had a lot of numbers, a lot of, technology, crunch, 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 crunch. I wanted to bring back it to the patient, the public health, the population health. So my talk talked about how these numbers should be used to help the patient rather than to help the product. Okay, instead of efficacy, how do we take care of the patient? So I dealt a lot with improving public health, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, all the issues we're going to have over the next decade related to this. 3 or 4 years ago, you just heard the name. Okay, DUPHAT, let's do DUPHAT. Oh, it sounds interesting. Now you're hearing it as, of course, it says the largest pharmaceutical event in the Middle East. This is actually a very significant international event, probably one of the top 2 that I know of in pharmacy that would be classified as a global or an international event. I really love it. They did address the pandemic. Each of our talks had something about, what effect has happened, But you're talking about health technology is a big part of this. Pharmacoeconomics is a big part of this. Other forms of, drug discovery and clinical research are all part of this meeting. So they bring together the topics that are current. I want to use the word trending, okay? So that when you see here, if you didn't know about it, you're going to hear about it in the future because it was already talked about here. The U.A.E. is the second most vaccinated country in the world, only behind Israel, according to my numbers 2 days ago. That could have changed, okay? I'm impressed outside the conference center with the way the people respond. It's not like in other places I've been where some people wear masks and some don't. Here, everybody is wearing a mask. And here in the convention center, it's even more stepped up in terms of that. You have guys walking around, pull it up over your nose, do those kind of things. I like the way the rooms are arranged. DUPHAT made a good plan to try out. I'm so glad having the blend meeting with both Zoom and this does allow people the option. But come if you can, because that exhibit hall is big. It has a lot of things in it that I don't see at other. I go to FIP at another international meeting or two. There's a lot more in this exhibit hall than meets the eye, because this is technology and OTC. So it's a large meeting. I feel very safe. One of the things I want to really mention about this, how special this meeting is first off, we as speakers are asked to judge pharmacy students as they present their work, okay, and put down things, and then the best ones get awards. I find that to be an important role to help students feel comfortable presenting in crowds. You had high school students and younger. I don't know how young, but I think it was all the way down to the elementary grades. Here putting up posters and getting to exhibit and talk about science and pharmacy. And why don't we do that all over the world? Because that's how we grow interest in our profession. And I was very moved by that, and I hope we continue to do it next year because I really want to be a part of that.